For some people, their words mean jack, no integrity. But beyond that is saying that we need to be able to back our requisite action. That you were committed to a difference in our personal space. We need to show it, be saying it. We need to be actionable to get the kind of result that we want, because it is insane to keep saying and doing the same old thing and expect miracle to happen. Nothing will change that way. Thank you so much for that incredible song and an opportunity for ourselves to go about saying things we mean and ready to back them with the right actions. Thank you for staying with 95.1 Nigeria Info. How are you? Have you had lunch yet? I'm not saying I'm going to give you lunch. I don't know if you've had it. Now, we're very concerned. We ask this question. It's not that all the time we can help you about it, but, the problem shared solved. Doesn't matter if they've solved it. If you relieve that you shared it to someone, that's the strategy we're using now. It's well. But thank you for staying with 95.1 Info and welcome to Hard Facts Get Intense as we start off looking at the big stories driving conversation country, and then we shift gear into something equally topical. We'll wrap up nice with eyewitness report situation update, bring us feelers of things happening with the federal capital or wherever it is you saw, you've heard, you're concerned, and you share them with us. Half the time we talk issues also. So I try to stay with me, yours truly, Kimberly, Kim the Oracle, OTF, the fellow, Madam Speaker, or Chanya, 1 year tag with me from now to 7 p.m. You're going to put your hand on your chest and say, I have to contribute positively, constructively, applying, all decorum that is required for a decent conversation today. God, hey. Huh? Good. I appreciate it. It makes the work easy when people just know to do the right thing. All right, so my guest will be here any minute now. Gbadebo, a sound journalist, and the thing will be joining me any minute now on the round. And together, we're looking at some of the very big stories having conversation in the country. I played Banky W's song. Banky apparently tweeted some time back. It can still happen. Who knows? Maybe. Seeing that the Parliamentary Election Petition Tribunal invalidated the election Thaddeus Atta of the Labour Party arena of the House of Representatives, the Etiosa Federal Constituency, which is Banky W's. He ran under the PDP. I just might. Who knows not? But we'll see how we go. But I know that Thaddeus does have his own flowing on ground, and they're committed to ensuring that he plays out in his favor. If there's a rerun election there, Banky W would be working it also for himself. And I think it's Obani Koro. We'll just see how he plays. So eyes will be on Etiosa constituency as much as it is in a lot of constituencies, senatorial areas, where the court is, no, sir, it's not you. And eyes are following state level to see how all of this is out. As much as on the presidential election tribunal, they're headed to the Supreme Court. So it's not a closed chapter just yet. So from now to November, I would be busy with working in all of the courts and see how they actually wrap up nicely. While all of this is going on, government must go on, and of policy directions, initiatives that are going up at the moment that we talk about them. And once the game is in the studio, get started on that. But just before we get into that, have you been following updates I actually earthquake. I saw, videos here and there. I saw a couple of them on Twitter. I saw a number on Instagram, how the earth was shaking and buildings were caving in. And they were talking about some monumental building they've had for eons, for a very long time, and how the structural integrity is compromised because of the earthquake. But beyond that, for the life of me, I didn't think the number was going to go as high as 3,000. When it was first reported, it was just running into 100, 200. But as the day goes by, the number just keeps increasing, which is truly troubling. Rescue teams are racing against the clock to survivors from the rubbles of the devastating earthquake that tore through. Because Tuesday, officials pegged the number of casualties at 2,800. While the United Nations Children Fund, UNICEF, said 100,000 children have been affected. The earthquake, which is the toughest to hit the North African country in more than 60 years, affected the south of Marrakesh and damaged buildings in major cities. And the country's Interior Ministry said the tremor was felt in neighboring Algeria and even as far as Portugal. Rescue effort has proven complicated as the near magnitude 7 quake struck in a mountainous area where access is extremely difficult. Now, planes from Qatar, Britain, Spain have arrived in Morocco with humanitarian aid. Rescue team, other 4 countries have expressed concern over what's the returns of the North African nation to access. With a staggering number at this point, ready to open their doors and receive help from whoever. Now, in a statement on Sunday, the Moroccan Ministry said it would it would initially accept search and rescue team only from Qatar, Spain, and the United Arab Emirates, called friendly countries, after taking into account the needs of fields. Now, other countries like Italy, United States, along with the United Nations, however, said that they're waiting to, prove any they could offer pending Morocco's request. So Morocco said these are the people that are our friends, so they can come and help us. Others are saying we're in the shadows, we're in the wings, and we're ready to help you. If you give the go-ahead, we're there for you, bro. So we'll see how it goes. Tunisia, Saudi Arabia have already said they're sending aid, but it's not if any has been dispatched just yet. And then survivors of the quake expressed frustration at the government over an absence of action, as they've been relying on each other to provide services, food such as donation, primary health care. Red Cross said it would take over like $110 million to provide desperate needed assistance in Morocco. It is staggering. And you hear report Morocco with Turkey, we followed back with Syria. We saw the devastation in these countries when a quake shook the country, lost property, lost people, and we're seeing Morocco. In Libya, there's a report of a flood going on. 100 people have been swept away, buildings destroyed. Mother Nature could be a force to be reckoned with, actually. There are a lot of people saying, are we human contributing? Is it our actions and inactions? Or is it just being nature? And it doesn't matter how well behaved we are on planet Earth. In a while, things are going to shake and there's going to be a tremor and to be a depletion of population. I don't know, but we can only pray for the people and the nation. But we just give them the grace to bear this. There's no way any human. I saw people crying, woman say, I lost all my brain, I lost it. It's tragic. It's tragic. Really, may their souls release, and I pray they get all the help they need. And if there's a way we can, with all of this in terms of our everyday lifestyle to ensure it doesn't happen, let's do a bit. While talking, my guest waltzed his way in. I've got studio with me, Mr. Gbadebo, a journalist with me. You are welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Abuja.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah.
I started off with a story. Close to 3,000. When I saw the report on Friday, I had a few trembling, and I'm like, okay. But, how many days? This number of search and rescue is still going on.
Exactly. And look at what's also happening in the neighboring Libya.
Yeah, the flooding. It just...
4,000 dead already.
Oh, the number up?
Yes.
Wow.
And another 1,000 again missing also. Very serious humanitarian crisis in North Africa as we speak. So UN, the AU, we have to do a lot of work to bring succor to the people.
Indeed. I mean, if you look at beyond the human casualty that it takes to put life together, infrastructure together, and for people to just move on, it costs a lot of money.
Everything.
Does need help from countries as possible.
Exactly. Very serious challenge, yeah.
We grab flooding so we can understand what Libya is.
Of course.
We've never...
Even though it's not in that magnitude or dimension.
12 hours was really devastating, remember? Number of states were affected.
2012, and the middle belt challenge, River Niger flooding.
It was bad, but the tremor part, we've been blessed in this part of the world, and all of that. I remember when I was in Jos, they always talk about one mountain that's a dormant volcano that it will take the entire city, but I think it's one of those scary tales they tell. Nothing happens.
It was a myth.
Indeed, like it. All right, you're welcome. Let's get started looking at some of the stories driving conversation in Nigeria. And to all those who are listening, Tokwe, I see you. And I would say welcome to every single person who's joined for the show today. The Presidential Election Tribunal, apparently interesting. Aside from the president, the tribunal in different states are coming up with stuff. I think his song and Banky tweeted and said it still happened. I mean, the court is saying that Thaddeus Atta it's act, and they're calling for a rerun. So we'll see. Eyes are still on the different states.
This judgment have been coming since Wednesday or Tuesday. So, and tribunal is also in this matter a first instance. Yeah, there will be appeal. Except for one man, I think a member of House of Reps from Bayer State. What's his name? Fred.
Yeah. Okay.
I think who said he won't be appealing the judgment of a tribunal against his election. He's ready to go for a supplementary election. No need to waste money. No.
Dude is already counting the pennies. Yeah, I'm born more money and nothing comes.
So, ITW, like you said, I was nearly on my way. Yeah. That it's possible around. We go back to the feed. The guy will not be appealed, and the appellate court will not be different.
Well, we'll see how it turns out. Still
Exactly.
pretty much interesting time for
Very,
Nigeria.
very.
Nothing is casting on just yet.
No, not at all.
And
Not at all.
it's important because we still need the call the final shot at the
Yes,
end of
because we are not ready to play by the rules. So there must be an arbiter somewhere who will give the last and final judgment. Ordinarily, people should reserve the power to the last judgment. People should choose.
Yeah.
This is not our leader. That should be the final judgment. But since we're not ready to play by the rules, of course, the court, we have to do that.
You would have to do that indeed. All right, let's get into the stories. And we're looking at the development coming out of the meeting of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu with the President of the United Arab Emirates, Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Yesterday, they filed a historic agreement which has resulted in the immediate cessation of the ban placed on Nigerian travelers. By this historic agreement, both Emirates and Etihad decided to immediately resume flight schedule to and out of Nigeria without any further delay. The statement added that the immediate restoration of flight activity through the two airlines and two countries does not involve any immediate payment by the Nigerian government, which is one of the reasons they left in the first instance, the forex chain. And speaking at the back of the president's visit to the UAE, the immediate visa-bound Nigerian traveler, for President Aviation Roundtable Initiative, and from your reports in the leadership newspaper, commended the outcome of it. All kinds of reactions, and I know that Andrew Ngelale was on TV and they were talking about the visa ban, what it means. Like, automatically, is it lifted? Can Nigerians travel? Like, okay, you know what? It feels like implied as much there, because the reason why the ban was placed first instance was because of the bad behavior of some Nigerians.
Exactly.
Cultism, crime. I mean, Hush Puppy was using that as his HQ for his fraud. Nigerians have been reported to, rule the change, spoiling terrorism from that neck of the world. We've also report of cultist activity perpetrated by Nigerians. And it forced the hands of these people to place a ban on a country where we know that a number of people have been there.
At that time, it wasn't about Nigeria alone.
Yeah.
There are countries affected by the blanket visa restriction by the UAE.
But there were odd. But Nigeria seemed a bit prone.
We have our own peculiar challenge. Then we know the trapped money again, and again the issue of flight frequency.
Yeah.
As at over 2022, it was, I think, Airpeace that was going to UAE. So at a point the country reduced the number of frequency. Then in addition, Nigeria also did the same for the Emirates. As number of time it can come to Lagos, Abuja, and they defended. And both sides. But
there were more of theirs and less of ours.
Exactly.
Come on.
And that
it was not mutual.
A kind of an insult, kind of diplomatic insult. That I'm less important. I shall accord you more importance at time. But then, what President Bola Tinubu did yesterday for me, it's commendable. I call it a kind of a rewarding diplomacy, and the kind of seriousness attached to it. It was coming from the 20 summit in New Delhi, India, not actually bother about fatigue and everything. In India, he still had the time to stop over in Abu Dhabi, United Arab, to sort out this once and for all. That tells he placed a kind of a premium on Nigeria-United Arab Emirates relations, because Nigeria gained a lot. And that is the bottom message with the story of leadership today. With this relationship, we have a lot to gain diplomatically, economically, in terms of job creation, and even image-wise.
Well, let's start with the image-wise. I can see that also. I think the optics doesn't look right if countries continue to place ban or not.
Exactly.
The next country will be like, if they can ban you guys, even though they thrive and flourish on tourism and just come. It's not a good one.
Of course.
So I can understand.
You've got money there. And they're saying keep your money. Exactly.
Both for school, vacation,
tourism,
and
majorly, tourism
in general.
Healthcare services. People still go to seek for improved healthcare services.
Yeah.
So look at the amount of capital flights. Despite that, they are saying we can make do with what we have. Keep quality, keep your bad names.
Boy, it doesn't sound good that way. But then you also talk about, in terms of the diplomatized, what it means. According to men put out, they also is also coming with a business deal for us. Invest millions across several sectors, defense to agriculture. Now, we don't have the details to that, but...
And that's the minors about the whole... The government are trying... I want to, in my own interpretation, doing a yeoman's job, a good job yesterday, try to lace the propaganda, trying to tell us everything. which cannot be true.
Let's take a quick break and we'll come back and take it over. Still, it's 95.1 Nigeria Info.
All at your fingertips. Your Let's Talk station.
Hello, my name is Kimberly. I'm the host of Hard Facts, and I bring you the stories driving conversation every weekday here on 95.1 Nigeria Info Hard Fact Show. I love to get your opinion and conjectures, but the facts you cannot dispute here on Hard Facts. Join me and let's talk.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
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 This is Nigeria Info.
Critics say, you're saying immediately, and yet it's not immediately. I give it that sense of urgency.
Exactly.
There still need a lot of paperwork to be done.
Of course. Acknowledge they did well by making this happen. But telling Nigeria it's immediate without any precaution cannot be true. You know, you can't be working with somebody here and on speaking terms for 1 month. And Samaritan is able to mediate with people and everything immediately return back to normal as if nothing had happened before. It's not possible. Even between husband and wife, the one will still feel like a stranger. They have to devise new, methodology. His wife have to meet him in the room and the rest. So it can't be immediate. This morning, I made inquiries myself at the embassy. I travel to Dubai now, no response. I had to, what do you call them? The people?
Okay, agency.
Travel agents. They have an association. I also spoke to a number of them and they say, well, we've heard from the part of management. We can't process for anyone. We can't even let anybody. I've also wait for the authorities to tell us you can go ahead. So you can see it's not immediate. The good news, it's heartwarming that is happening. It has been achieved, and we hope next coming days, relations will be normalized. Then things will back to normal. But that is not the end of the matter. We respect people. Diplomat.
Yeah.
Now that he told us what the issues were, it's just coming. It's not his fault. Remember, President Buhari did not give a damn when this happened. It happened under him. For almost 10 months, he didn't give a damn. He left.
But then some reports will remind us that there's some attempt by the Minister and even the Aspirant Commission to interface enough to how, I remember before Buhari, there were also papers were washed with roots, visa ban lifted, but then there were a lot of stringent condition tightened.
Now look at the difference. In the case of President Bola Tinubu, we also have a foreign minister. He didn't send a special envoy to UAE. President Tinubu, after spending 3 or 3 days somewhere else, on his way home, made a stopover. That tells the kind of importance is to Nigeria-UAE relation because they are our, prime business partners, very, business partners. So, if the president can do that, it means President Buhari has done same thing to make it happen here than now.
We're seeing a shift to a certain degree in the leadership style of, even though they are both in the same, but you're seeing a shift in the leadership style between President Tinubu and former President Bode. The former president was one who was a bit more lax and we're expecting you to do your job, police gear, minister, do this, be his own trips for whatever meet and all of that. Exactly. It wasn't a hands-on incident. It was one that even a lot of people can say, go and visit this place and see what happened. But, this is one example.
There's a shift.
President Bola Tinubu hands-on.
Exactly.
To saying this has linked, let me go and see their president myself.
Exactly. And that shows a shift.
But would he to sustain it?
Well, he can sustain it.
No body language.
It's a matter of political will. And it also depends on the kind of benefit this will bring to the country, as a country, and to his name. People were associated with success. Now he realized what's happening for him, for making this happen within days. This actually doesn't. when the new envoy to Nigeria presented this letter of credence,
Yeah.
it was initiated. Now, less than 2 weeks, he traveled to New Delhi. On his way back home, he stopped over to the president himself to say, see, beyond the envoy thing, meet face to face and finish this. And it has been resolved. So it has been done. Kudos to them. So the only man is propaganda, like I said. Let's take it and let's see what comes our way in the coming days and how will be normalized. But then, it's not enough. I was going there earlier. Not enough. We should people.
Okay.
What had happened shouldn't happen again.
But how do that? How do we correct that? Because I listened to Andrew, and he was trying to say, oh, there are some processes that were not very thorough before about certain kind of people.
Good.
You start to where would that screen? Is it from the Nigerian end or the Emirati end at the end of the day to ensure that we're not, getting bad products in terms of our personality?
Well, the passports, means of identification. You can obtain passport not necessarily because you want out of the country. You know that. Now, the UAE people should actually attach more importance to screening people going to their country, because the right to give permit, visa, and the rest
on arrival
is their own. Not so they should know the kind of people they are encouraging to actually go there. That's within our purview.
But then he also says something that is not going to be business as usual.
Okay.
The ease at which
a lot of things will change.
The ease at which you just take your bag, process from here, get your visa when you get there.
Things
will change.
And they've operated with their open arms. It won't be too open again. Now there'll be cautious approach to Nigerians, even though relations have been nice, but there'll be cautious approach to Nigeria. They won't embrace them the way they were doing, and that's one. Then secondly, beyond consular issues is business relations. There is no way we come here, make his money, you trap his money.
Not good at all.
Not good for his business. At a point, I remember there was a time Emirates was even telling the then governor, Godwin Emefiele, that see, is that time you repatriate our money to us so that we can be in business. Because even to buy our fuel on Nigerian soil, supplier, we require dollar on Nigerian. That's unheard of. That's not too good. You want to buy on Nigerian soil, but Naira accepted. It has to be done. And this dollar, at that time, wasn't available to them. It's being held up somewhere in the CBO. So look at how some, I don't know, other bureaucratic bottleneck or highness to spoil a long-standing diplomatic relationship between two countries, two partners. Now someone's coming, barely 3 months to fix this. That is a very past mark for President diplomatic-wise.
Diplomatic-wise. And let's also reflect on Nigerians who reside in the UAE, like Dubai. Because, at the height of it, we had a lot of Nigerians who were not renewing their work visas or permits.
A lot of things
and
happened.
a lot of us to return back to the country because they're not allowed to work.
Again.
Let's hope this is, all-encompassing in terms of
I think it's
dealing
one
with that
big
also.
patch that we don't even have the details. And that's why I said in the coming day, the details will be on, and relations will be normalized. And that's why it can be immediate, it can be instantaneous.
I guess it was the excitement.
Exactly.
Put out his statement. It was also stuttering a bit when he was asked to justify if it was immediate or if he did this. But then, like you said, it's a plot, it's a one, and for the optics, it's impressive. Asu Peter says, good afternoon, lady in black. Nice. Judiciary is toying with Nigerian constitution. Nigerians will go back to the old days of settling it. How did you settle it? Gospel F. Young, good afternoon to our guest. Nice seeing you, sir. On Facebook, day to you, Madam Kim. Keep up the good work. Government should do the needful. Increase, it's getting out of hand. Chima Emeka Chiba says only gullibles that will believe acceptance of quick lifting without thinking. It's not as easy as that without process and conditions attached. But if many Nigerians can celebrate former President Buhari swap during his time, never see the light of the day, they can be anything. The way many world leaders avoided the past president. Okay, all right, we'll leave that. Thank you very much. Good relationship between Nigeria and UAE. Meanwhile, without sentiment, I commend President Tinubu for a good relationship between us and the UAE. However, I want him to take a lesson from President Yar'Adua and tender apologies tonight that the system which brought him to power was compromised. Okay, that is Zalai Martins there. And a number on our WhatsApp page. Thank you very much. Sunday from CG Jabi, I see you. Came and our guest, my heart goes out to the people of Morocco. To me, presidential case is a closer because the opponents are not quoted and also they lack evidence. Are they going to actualize their stolen mandate? Good afternoon. Okay, Clement from Maitama, I don't understand your message. Please, is it Mr. Peter Obi's voice I'm hearing in your studio? Definitely does not sound like him. Let's see. Pastor Austin Chukrom Kuje says the earthquake in Morocco and the Sudan are heart-wrenching. My heart goes out to these countries in time of challenge. Morocco should be an opener to the Nigerian Ministry of Mines and Water Resources because the volume of borehole drilling in Nigeria is alarming. On politics, issue with Nigeria has been corruption and in most cases necessitated greedy acquisition of money. Prophet Momo disappointed Africa, not just Nigeria, but transmitting the result from the polling unit to show transparency. If the technical glitch didn't affect the transmission of the senatorial and House of Representatives held the same day, why the presidential? Peter Obi being the first person to congratulate Tinubu if the test was transparent, and some people repeatedly said, how can a party that won 35 House of Rep seat senator in a presidential election without sentiment, a very qualified and trusted first-timer can win a presidential election, even as an independent candidate like President Macron, Tinubu? Okay, a lot of compromise on the election. We'll leave it out. Thank you very much for that. Let's go to the next story, and this is taken to the Edo State situation. Now, despite all the effort to resolve the issues between Governor Obaseki and his deputy, Shuaibu, it seemed like it's not been resolved, John, because there's strong evidence that he got out of the government house and he's got, somewhere a little corner of his space to do his business from moving forward. Governor Philip Shuaibu withdrew instituted, I guess his boss, Obaseki and others in Abuja over a purported plan to impeach him. The governor and staff have been sent out of the Edo State government house. He's relocated to a new building, which formerly housed its procurement agency. Now, while his reporter, I think one of your correspondents was at the new office located at number 7 East Osadebe Avenue, meant for the deputy governor. Some staff of the governor were sighted moving into the newly renovated office, plain security men all over the place and all what. It feels like it's not resolved. This is Edo State is one of those interest states where we see from Oshomole Seki to Shuaibu. Is it a tradition they have, or is it just a typical tradition with Nigeria? Well, states I could cite as an example where you see this feud between governor and deputy when they start to indicate setting it.
Yeah, it's not new after all. It has always been there. Most of us are always, against their deputies, succeeding them. I don't know where they get that from, what kind of a unwritten law, Only 2 or 3 instances since 1999 where we had a governor leaving, endorsing his deputy take over from him. Even pick Ondo State governor, who is recuperating, is also having issues. The deputy governor.
They also back to the country.
Exactly.
Akeredolu.
In fact, they had to, whether there's a press conference or somehow, had to say, I have no issue with the governor. We are not fighting. Because people believe he's a potential beneficiary in case anything happens to the governor. So the governor is not happy with him. Even when he's not the one responsible for ill health. So it's always for Shuaibu, it's about Sosman. He said he wanted to be governor. Now, Obaseki also openly said, he told him and he said, no, don't talk about God now. Let's talk about projects, talk about good governance. Election, for God's sake, in Edo is next year. Why would you say a deputy governor should not talk about election? That's to tell you that you want to block him from succeeding him. He has someone in mind. Now, remember, he was so foisted on the APC. So when Adamu Shimole was leaving, Adamu Shimole abandoned deputy governor and anointed Godwin Obaseki. Now is the turn of Obaseki to leave. He's also borrowing a leave for Shimole, who abandoned a deputy and anoint somebody else. It's about our culture. All these things happening has nothing to do with our laws. One law is bad or one law is good. No, it's our culture. It's about our culture of impunity. Treasure all the time, whether inside or outside our government. We don't even have such rights. So people, like I said from the beginning of this program, should have the right to choose who their leader should be. None of them is sure of it. But look at what is happening. Now, the disagreement has even led to Deputy Governor abandon the main government housing to an annex, even though within the same Dennis or Sabebe perimeter, but not in the main government house building he used to operate, to an abandoned place which had to be renovated hurriedly for him to say that. That shows there is no peace yet. And to what extent that will affect us in Edo State.
I mean, I was going to get to that point to say most definitely going to governance.
Sure.
But it feels like they have full gear into politics. It's going to be more politics we'll see in Edo State governance at this point in time. Even though the deputy governor has not denied his interest in running for office, it's left for us to see under what platform, how things going to build up, perhaps escalate from this point.
Of course.
Is he going in the same party? Would he get a support of the party? Would he go somewhere? But where would he go back to? Go back to APC, can he? But with politicians in Nigeria, they can go as wherever they
anything is possible. Remember when Obaseki was running battle with Oshomole then as national chairman of the APC, he ran to a PDP to save him. It has happened before. The then PDP man, Pastor Iyamo, a politician, also now went back to APC.
It was an interesting swap.
Exactly. So in this case, don't be surprised. You may not see Shaibu in APC or PDP and see Shaibu in Labour Party of the potential of the Peter Obi movement to swing vote in of the country. So anything is possible.
Interesting. And someone or two Makin says deputy governors in Nigeria will never learn from history. How many governors in the past have succeeded their principals? Sure, a smart guy. That's what he thinks. That the fact that others have not succeeded
is that ideal?
Foreign into it.
Is that ideal?
Doesn't say it's ideal.
What law prohibits or forbids governors from becoming governors?
Best of my knowledge.
So, why should I be them? With people's legitimate aspiration. The governor had an aspiration of becoming a governor. It was legitimate. And he actually became a governor. He is serving second time, 8 years. So why should the power to stop another human reside with? No. So we are not ready to actually practice democracy because of our culture.
But then I'm trying to get the region which Shaibu is from, because
I do not.
Yes, that is also something that some people
are bringing on board. There is also the rotational factor.
Perhaps looking at it from that perspective, the government have a point to saying, let's allow this swing.
No, I think that rotation is Shaibu.
It's against him at the moment.
Yes, because Oshomole, who spent 8 for Obaseki, was from Edo North. Now, Obaseki, who is now and about to leave, I think is from Central. So this place, every state into 3 senatorial districts. So the next will be Edo South. So Oshomole from North, Obaseki from Central, Shaibu from the same North. Edo South is missing innovation. So a lot of people are looking towards Edo South to produce the next government.
But isn't it something also the deputy have factored into saying politicians, they are calculating
I believe I do follow people for so long and to hell with politics of geo-population and the rest. I know anything is possible.
Indeed, anything is possible. Want to see what happens if this, the very end, if it's going to change party, if the upper hand wins, have Governor Obaseki, because with more, in terms of the propaganda coming more from the office of governor of that state, and given the fact that he's also who is perceived to have beat hand that fed him, some people feel like, I don't understand why you're crying over this one. You did things similar in the past also. Apparently, that's how politics is played.
Nigeria issues for you.
All right, then. We'll take a few more thoughts and look at more of the stories here. It's only... Meanwhile, I'll let that one slide. Let's see here. Edo Central, not Edo South. Okay. My heart goes out to more Libyan people that are open to liberality. I miss you. Sorry, Mohammed. All right. He's from the South. Okay. You're forgetting that time is not a new phenomenon in Nigeria, going on since 1999, not just at the ownership level, but also presidential level. Messenger had a fallout with Goodluck Jonathan became president by God's grace. Buhari and Osibajo also had their problem. Seems to be a problem everywhere in Nigerian politics. Why this is happening is a mystery. Maybe there's something we don't know yet. I'm not aware, but definitely a very frustrating aspect of Nigerian politics. From Sulija had to even give us a big up to say, even at the presidential level, we get to see that play out. As regarded those state matter, and people compare Shuaibu's case with Obaseki and Ole, both are quite different. Shuaibu, he can't succeed Obaseki. That's why he's trying to rock the boat now. His region has done it, so he can't return to the zone until Ishan has had their turn before they can even accept them from APC. And they were told of that, but because of his ambition, just causing unnecessary trouble, he will suffer it greatly if he doesn't stop.
So another person understand better what is happening about politics of where are you from? More of academification or personality. Where are you from? And you know, they also play a major role.
But if it's not written in any book, the politicians will always see it as a gentleman agreement of some sort that they can betray at any point.
Depends on the level of the sentiment. If the sentiment is very, very high, it affects things. Like what we saw in the 2023 presidential election.
Which aspect of it?
Good. The rotational sentiment.
Oh, okay, yeah.
People, majority of Nigeria at the time didn't want an APC. But again, to believe that
it should go out.
It can anybody south. It can be anybody south. So qualified or not, south. So look at how that thing affected the outcome of the election.
There is nothing new about Obaseki and Shuaibu. Unfortunately, just a part of our negative culture in Nigeria. The only difference is that they are different names. In the future, the same situation will itself. But then it will be a new character in the never-ending battle between governors Suleiman from Gwari. And Pastor TJ from Dubai has been appealing to the Nigerian government to come to the residents in Dubai. I bet he will be relieved, hopefully, if it extends Nigerians resident in Dubai to ensure that this work permit that is the them issue is resolved, because it's a very troubling one also. Let's look at the FCT. Yesterday, the FCT minister has been very angry that his mic was not working and saying those who are not to work should leave. He will not call such ill prepares and stuff. His list about 135 road rehabilitation, resurfacing in Abuja, and some of the roads, for inauguration, resurfacing, mostly in the center. Wuse, Gariki, Gwarimpa, Mema District. And the Minister of the FCT, who inaugurated phase 1 of the project, they gave the contractor 6-month completion deadline. And the list of the for rehabilitation and resurfacing, you can go online and see detail of it from the phase 1, there's 1 on 2, all of the streets that will be rehabilitated. But this is just fun, so we might just cut him say, I hope we're not going to be concentrate again on just the city center, because it feels like Amak benefits so much, and people, they live in Abuja and they are cut off, they feel like, from the civilization of Abuja, because they're not getting the basic development required. And then we are moving away from the city center. Rent is a killer in the city center. People going as further away as it's affordable for them. So, we should see some of this there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, things they say is the first phase. The other phases will be the satellite towns.
Buhari.
The other one before Kogi State. Abaji. Kuje.
It seems almost forgotten half the time.
Kuje. And this has a lot of advantage because to actually lessen pressure on the city center. Infrastructure, pressure on them will also be reduced. But I think it's also right to say kudos to Yasike for hitting the ground running. He's the only minister out of 45, was it 45 districts, that have been boost. In fact, he has started his Rivers-like televised project. Exactly. He has already started here already. He started paying live television broadcast.
It was on TV.
Inaugurate project. This is commendable, and I believe it won't be about talking alone. It will be about action. And that area, apart from giving FCT a facelift, is security. Abuja has a lot of challenges. You see, a lot of things go potted because people access to even the mass media, or afraid to talk, or they just try to lick their wounds. This, what do you call them, one chance, is on the high increase, especially in the interior places. In fact, not even interior again.
Even in the heart of the city.
Heart of the city. Yeah. You close from work late, 7 p.m. If you're not lucky, you not go back to your house. So the minister should look at security, infrastructure. We need this infrastructure for convenience, but also security to be comfortable. No matter how beautiful infrastructures are, no matter how convenient they are, without the human use and being convenient, they have no use. So it's important that the minister also beam searchlight on security of Abuja. Kudos to him. He has started well, and I hope he will also bring the politics of rivers to FCT. FCT is the mini Nigeria, so you can see the difference between FCT and River State. River State is River.
Presidential Election Petition Tribunal say there's no difference. You people are the same, even though you don't have a governor.
No.
I'm just kidding. On a lighter note.
No, yeah, they were right. They were right in terms of.
Can we take this? Can we take it after the break?